bought this gas grill from Walmart for $19. I have the older version of it and I really like it, so I bought this one. I'll probably like it a little more than the older version because it does have a starter, which is really nice. Now, there could be some things that are quite annoying to build about this because the instructions are honestly pretty trash. There's like 4 steps and like they put 13 steps into each one. So let's talk about how to build it. But first, if you're having trouble with this grounding wire, just know one thing. That without the grounding wire, it'll still start. As you can see right there, there's a little spark. However, it is a good idea to put the grounding wire in. If you look at the step number 3 of the instructions, it literally does not tell you where to put the grounding wire. It is so frustrating. It doesn't say anything about it over here, and it just is missing. So it's very short, so you really just want it to touch metal. Now, as you can see, there's a screw over there, but it actually does not reach into that screw. So let's see where to put it. Alright, so I'm on the website right now, where I bought this grill for $19, which is still on sale. If you look closely at this picture, you see the spark wire over there, but you don't see the grounding wire. And if you look closely at this picture, you can see that the grounding wire actually is going under that screw over there. And again in this picture. And again in this third picture. And again in this fourth picture, you see it's going somewhere in the front. I don't really like so much that this wiring is exposed, but I'm still going to probably appreciate it. Having the starter, so I'll be okay with it. Okay, so I unscrewed it. This is where you want the grounding wire to go. In between the... you want it to be touching the metal over there. So I brought it up here so you can see better. You want the fiber washer to be on the outside, the grounding wire to be on the inside, so it's touching, first of all, the screw and the metal chassis. And then you want to just bring it. Hopefully I'll be able to do this on camera. All right, let's bring it through that hole over there. There we go. And then you put the bolt on. Okay, so now we're all done. You could even put the grounding wire facing upwards, so that way it's hidden more, and then tighten it up. And now that I said that part, because I think that's what most people will get stuck on, but otherwise I'm going to show you how I built this and some easy instructions, I guess. So this is a heat sink that prevents the heat from heating up the metal over here, so that way it doesn't break or anything like that. And here is the starter, so when you press this button and the gas is on, it'll start the fire, which is nice. You basically put that little piece in there, and you take the screw, and from the bottom you put in that screw. Okay, that is step number 1, and you just gotta stick that piece in there. Step number 2 is, I guess you could put this round piece on, screw it in over there, use the sheetrock screw, whatever it is, put that in. And then you want to, so that way it has this piece on right there. Then you want to put on the handles. Now you take this handle, and you can put this on either side, I think it's fine, whatever way it is. You take one of the screws that it says, and you put it in, and for this side you want the grounding wire to be there, and you also want the fiber washer to be in between here and the case, so that way this doesn't get too hot and crack. And my last one, it cracked, so that's why, even though it had the fiber washer. So on this one you want to do the same thing, screw, fiber washer, and then you have the nut on the back over here that you tighten. You could hand tighten it. I don't think it needs to be super tight. If it ever gets loose, you can always tighten it again. The same thing on this side, just make sure you have the fiber washers in between, and put the fiber washers, and then make sure you have the nuts on top of these bolts. The legs I like, they're thicker in this version than the last one. The reason why these screws are here are to prevent the legs from going too far backwards, and that's the problem that I had on my last one. You just stretch out the legs a little bit, and then you put them right through, so you'll see them like right here. They're going to be in there, which is really nice. So that's the legs, and obviously they do stretch. The metal does stretch, and on both sides they will prevent it from going further than they're supposed to, and that way it will be nice and even. Okay, now that you have all this all finished, you're going to have this heat shield or splash guard, whatever you want to call it. And the reason why these screws stick out extra is actually because you want to be able to put this on. So, yeah, and that's why it's there. So that's really nice. On the one that I have, like after 10 times, this thing is just disgusting. I tried cleaning it, but like you just got to go with the flow, and it gets disgusting. I wish these holes were a little bigger, so that way more heat could get through, but otherwise it works well. And now here is the grate. The grate goes right on top. Here's the thing with the grate is that it doesn't fit perfectly, but it works well. I've used the other version of this, and it's been going pretty well. And really all I need to put this together is one screwdriver. Well, now we're going to go to this side. Okay, so this side, I'm going to show you these things. Now, I wasn't sure what they were at first when I had the last grill, but really there are two I'll show you right now. They are to hold the grill like this, and that's really useful. So make sure they're both facing the same direction so that they could catch on the way that it is right now. And that's really useful when you are like flipping hot dogs or flipping burgers and rolling hot dogs, I guess. Just put the little screws in and you should be good. Now over here, you have another heat shield. This is to prevent the whole top from getting super hot. And from the handle getting hot and melting off. So what you want to do here is put the screws, and this is where you put the metal washers and not the fiber washers. You put it right here, and you make sure that this is indented inwards the way it is. And on the other side, you want the fiber washers to be there, and that way you could just use that, screw it right in there. And just for the record, just so you know, it's a lot easier to have two people when putting on these handles. It could be really tough just with one person because you want to try to screw it in and everything, and it can get really annoying. So just as a disclosure. Okay, so now we cover it up. There we go. And it has these little indents, as I'll show you in a second, so that you can package it up real nice. And the reason why these are here is so that not only for legs, but also it clamps up your piece so that it's nice and portable, which I think is really awesome. And I hope this will work as well as the last one did. The last one worked very well, and for $19, like this is a really good deal. You should definitely snag it if you can, and I have faith that it's going to work well. One last thing, I forgot to show you how to put this in. So, if I recall correctly, you actually have to put it upside down. So you see where the little red part is over here? Okay, that's got to go in there like that. Okay, because the little indent is there. A little dimple. And so you got to push it all the way in, and you actually got to use some energy over here. So let's see. There we go. Actually, not yet. Push it in. And once it's all the way in, you probably want to turn it over so that you can just screw it in over here. And you can put it sideways, I guess, also. But any way that you put it, and then once that's done, you can go and turn this. Now, on my last version of this piece broke. So I called Char-Broil. They sent me a new one. They only charged me $10, but it was under warranty, so they just charged me for shipping. But it was worth it. I got another like year of use out of it, so that was really good. And it's great for the parks and all that stuff. I really like how they made it much more sturdy over here. With a starter, and it looks like they have more protection for the handles so they don't crack anymore. So thanks for watching. I hope this helped. As you can tell, I'm a really big fan, and I hope you will be too.